This presentation aims to propose ways in which AI can function beneficially in the teaching of the native language. It introduces tasted proposals from the Greek high school context for the use of AI tools, ChatGPT and Gemini primarily, in language lessons activities, so that AI can function in the language classroom as a writing assistant, personalized tutor, and catalyst for motivation of students. AI can serve as an antidote to spoon feeding. Spoon feeding is described as the provision of information to a captive and passive student body. It can serve as an antidote to memorization, which does not constitute learning, as learning requires reframing into something that shapes students' abilities and leads to action or application. Research highlights the complementary role of teachers and ChatGPT. ChatGPT may act as interlocutor, content provider, teaching assistant, and evaluator, while the teacher orchestrates these roles through sound pedagogical decisions. AI can foster agentic learning and initiate the process of self-regulated learning. AI is also perceived as threatening with side effects that may outweigh its benefits. Concerns include the risk of undermining critical and creative thinking, its potentially addictive nature leading to dependency, and issues of ethics and academic integrity, plagiarism, cheating, and students' passivity, inequalities in access, and risk to personal data protection also remain pressing concerns. A study on university students regarding AI's impact on creativity reveals that AI may facilitate fluency in idea generation during brainstorming, but simultaneously reduce creative confidence and divergent thinking. This suggests a discouraging effect, particularly for students developing their creative identity, while also posing risk for dependency and reduced self-efficacy. In relation to creativity, AI may negatively affect mini-C and little-c creativity, which are central to students' sense of achievement. AI in language education has attracted research attention, especially in foreign language learning rather than native language instruction. Studies show both benefits and drawbacks. Properly employed, AI enhances writing skills, offers support and immediate feedback, broadens vocabulary, and strengthens grammatical accuracy. AI can also propose real-time rephrasing and stylistic variations. For teachers, AI can save time in lesson planning, idea generation, and even student work evaluation. It may increase student engagement and autonomy through human-like interaction. Large language models allow teachers to create student-centered, pedagogically targeted material, adapted texts, grammar corrections, exercise notes, presentations, or new activity ideas. AI tools also support authentic language practice and functions as personal language tutors. Chatbots have been used in training argumentation, showing benefits in reasoning and motivation. Application of AI in native language. The use of AI in mother tongue language teaching was implemented in a Greek private school of Athens in the modern Greek language and literature course of the third final grade of a high school, students aged 17-18. Instruction in this subject is influenced by the content of the final examination taken at the end of the school year for entry into public Greek universities. Thus, in the modern Greek language and literature exam, students are assessed, among other tasks, in summarizing a non-literary text, in transformation exercise, in writing an interpretive commentary based on a short literary text, in essay writing. Specific AI tools were used both for students' practice and improvement in the above exam tasks, and for the teacher's lesson planning of targeted activities. Text summary. ChatGPT and Gemini in their free version were used for practicing summarization. This demanding exercise requires strong abstracting and critical skills, as well as rephrasing abilities to condense core ideas into a few words. Specific examples of AI use include the teacher designed exercises with targeted prompts to the AI systems and presented the result to students so they could practice, evaluate, discuss, and draw conclusions on aspects of summarization. The teacher specifically asked the models to underline and list the key ideas of a text or of a passage, so students could compare AI results with their own, critique them, evaluate, and learn from them. He also asked the AI models to create a comparative table showing the text key phrases and their rephrased versions. Class discussion analyzed how concise rephrasing was achieved. He also asked AI tools to produce different summary versions of a given text under clear guidelines, rephrasing main ideas, using verbs that reflect the author's stance, and incorporating cohesive devices. Exposure to AI-produced summaries helped students realize variations in summaries, observe rephrasing techniques, and note the variety of reporting verbs. Finally, the teacher asked the AI tools to generate summaries containing mistakes. Students corrected and graded these summaries in class using the interactive whiteboard. AI could also log its own errors for comparison with students' identification. The aim of this intervention was to demystify the summarization process by revealing its mechanism, comparing versions, decoding rephrasing strategies, and identifying mistakes, and to train students in aspects often overlooked in traditional teaching, where focus is on the final product. Students responded positively, stating they found this process very helpful. Style transformation exercise. In national exams, students must transform parts from reference text to alter style. Such style games were supported by AI tools like ChatGPT, Hemingway Editor, and Gemini in their free version. The teacher asked those tools to change the style of a text toward a given orientation, simple to high register or vice versa, to simplify or enrich vocabulary, to simplify or complicate syntax, etc., and to generate stylistic variations, adding tonal nuances, ironic, humorous, enthusiastic, critical, etc. And students examined how these effects were achieved across several examples. According to students' feedback, this activity helped them realize through concrete examples how style is altered using both simple and advanced techniques, which are often hard to teach without tangible demonstrations. Interpretive commentary. The demanding activity of interpretive commentary requires students, based on a literary prose or poetic text, to write in 100 to 200 words 2 types of responses. One identifying the central theme issue of the literary text, and one articulated their personal stance toward the theme issue of the text. Common student errors include misidentifying the theme, choosing irrelevant textual markers, insufficient justification, and unclear expression. To practice and raise awareness of these pitfalls, the teacher used free AI tools, ChatGPT and Gemini, projecting their outputs on the interactive board for whole class discussion. The teacher asked AI to provide 3 correct variations of an interpretive commentary, each with different wording, markers, or organization. Students compared and analyzed these differences. AI was carefully guided to match national exam criteria. Also, AI was asked to display all textual markers of the literary text, and students first realized the abundance of markers, then practiced selecting the relevant ones for the given task. Finally, the teacher asked AI tools to generate 3 incorrect commentaries with different types of error: theme misidentification, irrelevant markers, word limits overrun, poor cohesion, language errors, etc., and students identified and corrected these errors. Students reported that this activity helped them recognize key mistakes in this exercise and avoid them in future attempts. Essay writing. The highly demanding task of essay writing evaluates students on contents, structure, language, style, and text quality within a word limit of 300 to 400 words. Student difficulties and errors centered on these aspects. To address them, the teacher asked free AI tools, ChatGPT and Gemini, to perform targeted actions. To generate sample student-like tests with identified error, and students were called to detect and correct these errors, to raise awareness and avoid them in their own writing. ChatGPT and Gemini were used to produce examples with correct or incorrect integration of reference texts. Students analyzed these to understand proper techniques and avoid omissions, copying, or clumsy incorporations. They were also used to present a list of ideas, then at the same time with brief justification and detailed reasoning, and students noted differences and practiced prioritizing the most important ideas due to word limits. Finally, ChatGPT and Gemini were used to provide alternative openings and closings depending on topic, reference text, and communicative context. Students compared and judged these openings and closing, realizing the flexibility and creativity that is possible. Incorrect examples were also generated for correction. Because students often struggle with titles, AI was asked to suggest various options which were then analyzed by the students for technique. Students reported significant benefits. They became more aware of their mistakes, understood different techniques for introductions, conclusions, and main body writing, and felt more confident during essay production. In this presentation, specific ways of using AI tools in their free models in the teaching of the mother tongue in a particular Greek class, final year of high school, with clear demands and orientation toward the national entrance exams for Greek public universities were demonstrated. The use of these tools was particularly facilitative for teachers. In fact, the suggestions generated by AI tools at the end of each assigned task functioned as creative fuel for the teacher to think of and design new activities. The teacher orchestrated the process of generating teaching material, while the AI executed it and simultaneously proposed extensions. This creative dialogue proved especially fruitful for the teacher. Students stated that the use of AI helped them significantly. They gained a better understanding of techniques useful for exam activities in modern Greek language and literature. They felt more motivated both to learn and to write, especially those with writing difficulties or learning challenges, and they felt more confident and better prepared for their final exams. The field of AI integration in mother tongue teaching remains open to further and deeper exploration. This particular study did not examine AI's role in fostering linguistic creativity through creative writing. While the positive side of using large language models in language teaching is acknowledged, their influence-related anxieties are reduced but not eliminated. This means that in highlighting the role AI plays and will continue to play in language education, it is proposed that practice with AI tools in language teaching be encouraged, that AI be integrated into curricula, that self-training and collaboration among educators be supported, that ethical issues related to AI use be emphasized, and that well-founded proposals, responses, and guidelines be developed for its responsible use. Thank you very much for listening.